Stop scrolling for a moment and listen carefully, because this message did not arrive in your life by accident. Something greater than coincidence brought you here at this exact second, and deep inside your spirit, you already feel it. There is a reason your heart has been restless lately. There is a reason the nights have felt heavier, the signs around you stronger, and the silence in your soul louder than ever before. Heaven has been trying to reach you, and today the call became impossible to ignore. Beloved soul, this is not simply another message passing across your screen. This is a divine interruption. This is a moment designed specifically for you before you were even born. Every painful delay, every betrayal, every closed door, every tear you cried when nobody understood you was preparing the road that led to this very second. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Even the battles you thought destroyed, you were shaping the strength needed for what is now beginning. You were guided here because something powerful is shifting around your life. The spiritual atmosphere surrounding you has changed. You may not fully understand it yet, but your soul recognizes it. That uneasy feeling in your chest is not fear, it is awakening. It is the sound of destiny knocking against the walls you built after disappointment tried to convince you to stop believing. Do not push this moment away. Do not treat it lightly. Heaven does not force people to listen, but it does speak clearly when the timing is sacred. And right now, the timing over your life is sacred. There were nights when you smiled in front of others while silently breaking inside. Heaven saw every one of those moments. There were prayers you whispered through exhaustion, believing nobody heard you, but they were heard immediately. The answers did not disappear. They were simply being prepared in places you could not yet see. You have wondered many times why your journey has been harder than the people around you. You questioned why doors opened easily for others while you stood waiting in confusion. But what felt like rejection was often protection. What looked like abandonment was actually divine positioning. You were being held back from things that would have destroyed your peace later. And now, pieces that once made no sense are slowly beginning to align. Something has your name attached to it in this season. A breakthrough, a restoration, a sudden shift, a moment that changes the direction of your life completely. The spiritual resistance around you became stronger recently because the closer a soul moves toward purpose, the louder the opposition becomes. Darkness does not waste energy attacking people with no calling. The pressure you survived is proof that your life carries significance. You have not missed your purpose. Read that again in your spirit. You have not missed your purpose, even after every mistake, every delay, every season where you felt disconnected. Heaven still speaks your name with love. God did not walk away from you. The distance you felt was created by pain, fear, disappointment, and exhaustion. Yet even then, divine mercy kept watching over your path. You are being called back into alignment now. There is something your spirit has been sensing before your mind could explain it. Strange dreams, repeating signs, moments where you suddenly felt emotional for no clear reason, unexpected memories returning to your heart, a feeling that something important is approaching. None of that is meaningless. Your soul reacts when heaven begins moving pieces around your future. And listen carefully to this part. The enemy wanted you exhausted enough to quit before the blessing arrived. That was the assignment against your life, to make you stop believing right before the breakthrough appeared, to convince you that nothing would ever change, to make disappointment feel permanent. But you survived every attempt sent to silence your faith. You are still here, still breathing, still searching, still hoping, even if only a small piece of hope remained alive inside you. That remaining spark is enough for God to rebuild everything. There are people who counted you out. People who assumed your story would end in defeat. People who believed the pressure would permanently break you. But they are about to witness a transformation they cannot explain. Not because revenge is coming, but because God is revealing what happens when grace touches a life that refused to surrender completely. You were never created to live an ordinary existence. That is why average situations never satisfied your soul. Something bigger has always called your name. Even when you tried to ignore it, the pull remained inside you. You were designed with purpose attached to your spirit from the beginning. The waiting season has felt unbearable at times. You asked heaven when your turn would finally come. You watched others move ahead while you remained in hidden battles nobody knew about. But hidden seasons are not empty seasons. Some of the greatest spiritual transformations happen in silence where nobody claps for you. And now the page is turning. A new chapter is standing directly in front of you. But you must choose whether you will walk into it with faith or remain chained to fear. Heaven will guide you, but it will not force you. Your response matters. Your willingness matters. Your belief matters. You are closer than you realize. There are blessings already moving toward you that your eyes cannot yet see. Conversations are happening behind closed doors. Doors are being unlocked quietly. Hearts are changing. Delays are breaking apart piece by piece. Paths are opening that once looked impossible. The spiritual atmosphere around your future is shifting rapidly. Do not allow fear to talk you out of what God is preparing. You have spent enough years doubting yourself, enough nights questioning your worth, enough time believing your past mistakes were stronger than your future calling. That season must end now. The truth is this: heaven still trusts you. That is why your battles were intense. Great assignments create great resistance. But the same God who carried you through every painful season is still carrying you now. You were never abandoned during the struggle. Even in your darkest moments, protection surrounded your life without your knowledge. There were accidents that never happened because heaven intervened. There were traps you never saw because angels redirected your path. There were moments you almost gave up completely. Yet something inside you kept whispering to hold on a little longer. That whisper saved your life. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are human. But tired people can still rise again when touched by divine strength. And right now, strength is returning to your spirit. The heaviness over your mind will not last forever. The confusion surrounding your future will not remain forever. The isolation, the delays, the tears, the frustration, the waiting, none of it is permanent. A shift has already started. This message reached you because your season is changing. Heaven is not asking you to become perfect overnight. It is asking you to believe again, to open your heart again, to trust again, even after disappointment tried to destroy your faith completely. That choice alone changes everything. The spiritual battle surrounding your life has intensified because your breakthrough is no longer distant. You are standing much closer than you think. And sometimes the hardest moments appear right before the greatest turning points. Do not walk away now. You survived too much to quit at the edge of transformation. Your story is not ending in confusion. It is not ending in delay. It is not ending in defeat. What is coming carries restoration with it, peace with it, clarity with it, divine favor with it. There is still purpose attached to your name. There is still light inside your spirit. There is still calling attached to your life. And heaven has not forgotten you for even a single second. As you continue forward from this moment, remember this deeply. The same God who protected you in hidden seasons is capable of leading you into visible victory. The same God who heard your silent prayers is capable of answering them in ways greater than you imagined. The same God who carried you through heartbreak can also lead you into healing. Nothing about your life is random. Every painful chapter taught you something necessary. Every delay strengthened something inside you. Every storm built endurance your future will require. One day you will look back and realize that what almost broke you actually prepared you for what is coming next. The fear has spoken long enough. Now faith must speak louder. Lift your eyes again, hope again, believe again. Your future is still alive, and heaven is still moving. This moment is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your turnaround. Something powerful is happening around you at this very moment, and if you ignore this message, you may walk away from the very confirmation your spirit has been begging for. This is not an accident. You were led here because heaven has already begun moving pieces into place on your behalf. The battles you survived were not meaningless. Every sleepless night, every betrayal, every season where you felt abandoned was preparing you for this exact hour. You made it through what should have destroyed you, and now the spiritual realm is responding to your endurance. The price for this next chapter has already been paid through your tears, your patience, and your refusal to completely give up when everything inside you wanted to quit. Right now, your name is being spoken in places you cannot physically see. There is movement around your destiny. There are assignments connected to your life that carry unusual weight, and both heaven and darkness recognize it. That is why distractions suddenly increased. That is why confusion tried to enter your thoughts. The closer you get to breakthrough, the louder the pressure becomes. But listen carefully, because this message is not here to scare you. It is here to awaken you. A single moment of doubt can delay what has already been prepared for your future. That is why your attention matters right now. You were not guided here randomly. This is not just another video passing across your screen. Your spirit was pulled toward this moment because there is preparation happening. Something extraordinary has already begun shifting, and this message is meant to strengthen your faith before the next door opens. If you could see the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life, you would understand why this moment carries so much importance. There is light surrounding your assignment. There is favor gathering around your future. Even now, unseen help is being arranged for paths you have not walked yet. Have you noticed strange signs lately? Repeating numbers showing up everywhere you turn, waking up at unusual hours without explanation, intense dreams that feel more real than reality itself. Sudden emotional heaviness that arrives without warning. None of these things are meaningless. Your spirit has been sensing movement before your mind could understand it. These moments were attempts to get your attention before the next shift arrives. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. There was a night not long ago when you almost surrendered completely. You remember it clearly, even if nobody else does. Your heart felt exhausted. Your soul cried silently while you pretended to stay strong in front of everyone else. But heaven heard the sound you never spoke aloud. In the middle of your breaking point, divine help was already being released toward you. That moment did not mark your ending. It marked the beginning of intervention. You are still here because your purpose refused to die. Understand this deeply. Your life was never meant to blend into the background. There is something inside you that carries impact beyond what you currently understand. You have survived attacks that should have erased your confidence completely, yet somehow you kept moving forward. That is not coincidence. That is evidence that your life carries assignment and meaning. You were not only protected to survive, you were preserved for what comes next. I need you to hear this carefully because it matters more than you realize. There is something prepared for your future that has been held back until your faith matched the level of the blessing. The waiting season was never punishment. It was preparation. Heaven was watching to see whether your spirit would remain standing while everything around you tried to convince you to quit. And right now, a decision is taking place. Your response matters. Many people will not understand what begins happening in your life next. They will search for explanations. They will try to measure your favor using logic. But what is coming cannot be explained naturally. Restoration is entering places that once looked permanently broken. Opportunities will appear where doors stayed closed for years. Prayers you whispered in secret are being answered in ways larger than you expected. Every tear you cried in silence was recorded. Every moment you felt invisible was seen. The quiet season nearly convinced you that God had abandoned you, but the silence was never absence. It was construction. While you thought nothing was happening, barriers were being removed that you could never have broken on your own. Delays were repositioning you. Closed doors were protecting you. Waiting was shaping you into someone capable of carrying what is coming next. Do not ignore this truth. There are people around you who cannot recognize what is resting on your life. Some underestimated you, some dismissed your dreams, others only saw your weakness and never your calling. But heaven saw differently. Your life has never been ordinary. The pain you carried was connected to purpose. Those chosen to shift generations often face battles others cannot understand. That is why your journey has felt heavier than normal. You keep asking, why has my life been this difficult? The answer is because your existence carries influence beyond yourself. There are future people connected to your obedience. Your voice, your presence, and even your survival will become freedom for someone else one day. That is why fear fought so hard to silence you. That is why doubt sat heavily on your chest. The enemy attacks what threatens darkness, and your future threatens it greatly. You have stayed hidden for too long. This season is not only about healing anymore. It is about activation. Something inside you must wake up now. Heaven responds to willingness. It responds to surrender. Even trembling faith is enough if you choose to move forward. You do not need perfect confidence. You only need agreement with the calling placed over your life. There is someone from your past you secretly hoped would return with answers or apology. Deep down, you wanted closure from the people who wounded you. But listen carefully. Your healing will not come from their words. God Himself is closing those wounds. You are being taught how to stand without needing validation from the people who hurt you. The past no longer has authority over your future unless you continue carrying it. Lift your head again. What broke you will not define you forever. Opinions spoken against you have already expired. The attacks, lies, delays, and disappointments cannot stop what heaven has already approved for your future. There is movement coming into your life that will leave people speechless. A strong wind is approaching your situation, and it is preparing to push you into a completely different season. But there is one thing heaven waits for: openness. God does not force transformation on closed hearts. This moment is an invitation. The next chapter requires your agreement. You are standing at the edge of change right now without fully realizing it. For years, prayers have been connected to your destiny without you knowing it. People you have never met are tied to your assignment. Your obedience affects lives you cannot yet see. That is how heaven works. Slowly, strategically, quietly. And then suddenly everything changes at once. Soon you will receive confirmation that leaves you stunned. A message, an opportunity, a phone call, an invitation. Something that feels impossible after everything you survived. It may seem too good to be real, but it will arrive at the right moment. Delayed does not mean denied. What belonged to you spiritually was never cancelled. You are becoming stronger while opposition loses power. Soon you will stop defending yourself because your life itself will become the evidence. Favor will speak louder than explanations ever could. Those who underestimated you will witness doors opening that they never expected you to walk through. Not to shame them, but to reveal what God can do with someone who refused to completely surrender during dark seasons. You survived storms designed to destroy your confidence. Betrayals came from places you trusted most, yet you are still standing. That is not weakness. That is preservation. Your life has been guarded because your future carries significance. What you thought was loss is being rebuilt differently now. The wounds once connected to pain are becoming sources of wisdom and strength. Your family line has repeated cycles for generations. You noticed it long ago. Blessings that never stayed. Promises that never fully manifested. Patterns of disappointment, repeated over and over again. But your life was never designed to continue those cycles. You were chosen to interrupt them. That is why you always felt different. That is why you struggled fitting inside old expectations. Your assignment was never to repeat the past. It was to create a new future. This calling affects generations after you. One decision of obedience can shift an entire bloodline. Future people connected to you may experience freedom because you chose not to quit during your hardest season. That is why your battles intensified. Resistance always attacks those meant to break patterns. A blessing is already hovering close to your life even now. This is not symbolic language. Something real is waiting for the right moment to enter your hands. But blessings this significant require readiness. Heaven protects what is holy. Your spirit is being prepared to receive what once would have overwhelmed you. The next season will require deeper trust than before. You cannot enter it carrying old fear. You cannot step into new territory while holding on to old thinking. Some things around you are being removed because they no longer fit where you are going. Certain people, habits, and distractions cannot travel with you into this next chapter. Do not mistake the shaking for destruction. Rearrangement often feels uncomfortable before it reveals purpose. Heaven is clearing space. What feels like loss now may actually become relief later. Some weights were never yours to continue carrying. Your future has already begun shifting in the spiritual realm before physical evidence appears. Faith moves before proof arrives. Many people miss breakthrough because they wait to see movement first. But real faith walks before confirmation appears. That is the invitation being placed before you right now. You do not need every detail yet. You only need willingness to continue forward. The full map is not always revealed at once. Sometimes heaven gives direction one step at a time, so trust can deepen along the journey. Doors will begin opening faster than expected once you stop doubting your own calling. There is also a hidden reason your life moved slower than others around you. You believed you were failing while everyone else moved ahead. But the truth is different. You were being protected. Some assignments require hidden seasons before public ones. Your spirit needed strengthening before visibility arrived. Silence was not rejection, it was covering. That hidden season is ending now. You will begin noticing unusual favor. Opportunities will locate you without endless striving. People will mention your name in rooms you never entered physically. Invitations will appear unexpectedly. What once felt impossible will slowly become normal. You are not behind. You are arriving at the exact moment prepared for you. The waiting was building endurance, wisdom, and discernment inside you. Soon you will look back and understand why certain doors stayed closed. You will realize that delay saved you from environments that would have damaged your future. So do not shrink now. Do not silence yourself anymore. Do not let fear convince you to stay small when heaven has already called you forward. Something sacred has begun moving around your life. The shift is already happening. The only question left is whether you will believe enough to walk into it. The moment you hear these words, something has already started changing around you. This message did not arrive randomly. Out of millions of voices, distractions, and moments in this world, you were guided here for a reason. Before this day began, before your thoughts even formed, something in the spiritual realm was already preparing your path. There is movement happening around your life right now that cannot be explained by logic alone. Even if your physical eyes cannot recognize it yet, heaven has already started arranging what comes next for you. While many people are overwhelmed by noise, confusion, and endless distractions, you are being pulled into a deeper awareness through stillness. That silence you have been feeling is not emptiness. It is preparation. It is the hidden space where destiny begins to unfold. Behind what you can currently see, divine hands are already writing your future into motion. Doors are being discussed with your name attached to them. Situations are shifting without your knowledge. People you never imagined are being positioned in places that will soon connect to your journey. That is why life recently started feeling strange to you. Relationships changed unexpectedly. Certain people became distant without explanation. Conversations lost their meaning. Places that once felt comfortable suddenly began to feel heavy. None of it happened by accident. What no longer belongs in your future is being removed from your atmosphere because what is approaching your life cannot grow in unhealthy ground. You were never meant to carry old patterns into this next season. Some habits had to break. Some attachments had to disappear. Some disappointments were actually protection wearing a painful disguise. What left your life was not stronger than you. It simply could not travel where you are being taken. That is why this moment matters more than you understand. You cannot continue staring backward while heaven is trying to move you forward. The past already completed its assignment. It taught the lessons it needed to teach. Now your focus must shift toward what is waiting ahead. There are people who lose their breakthrough because they hesitate at the exact moment they are supposed to move. They delay what God placed in front of them. They convince themselves there will always be another opportunity later. They tell themselves they will respond tomorrow, pray tomorrow, believe tomorrow, change tomorrow. But many blessings pass by because they were ignored during the moment they arrived quietly. Miracles rarely announce themselves loudly. Often they appear softly, wrapped in simple moments that only spiritually alert people recognize. You were not randomly guided to these words. Out of every distraction that could have stolen your attention today, you are still here listening. That matters more than you realize. Heaven does not require perfection before beginning a transformation. Sometimes willingness is enough. Sometimes all it takes is a heart that quietly says yes. And right now, whether you fully understand it or not, a major shift has already begun moving around your life. Listen carefully, because this part is important. If you continue ignoring what your spirit has been trying to tell you, life may still move forward, but you could end up watching someone else walk into opportunities that were once meant for you. Many people experience the pain of witnessing another person step into blessings they delayed too long to receive themselves. Timing matters. Obedience matters. Attention matters. This moment carries spiritual weight, even if it feels ordinary on the surface. The opening before you will not remain available forever. Every divine invitation carries a season attached to it. The message reaching you today is not simply information. It is confirmation. What happens next depends on the response growing inside your heart right now. If you choose faith over fear, if you choose movement over hesitation, events will begin unfolding in ways human effort alone could never produce. Certain breakthroughs arrive through alignment rather than struggle. Heaven knows how to accelerate what would normally take years. There are people who secretly noticed something different about you long before you recognized it yourself. Your presence changes atmospheres. Rooms feel different when you enter them. Some individuals cannot explain why they feel drawn toward you, while others become uncomfortable around you without reason. This is not arrogance. It is spiritual distinction. Even during seasons when you felt abandoned, direction was still surrounding your life. Even during nights when you questioned your purpose, heaven never questioned your value. The strength inside you was never built through applause. It was developed during private battles nobody else witnessed. Every tear, every betrayal, every lonely moment shaped something powerful within your spirit. You survived situations that should have completely broken you. You kept moving while carrying pain you never explained to anyone. Heaven saw every moment. Nothing escaped divine attention. Your endurance mattered. Your persistence mattered. Even when nobody celebrated your survival, your resilience was being recorded. Now, the season of delay is beginning to break apart. Financial doors that seemed permanently closed are preparing to open unexpectedly. This is not empty motivation. Certain restrictions around your progress are already weakening. What once felt blocked will soon begin flowing again. Resources will appear from places you never anticipated. Opportunities will emerge through people you have not even met yet. Systems you did not create will suddenly benefit your life. When these things happen, remember this moment because your spirit already sensed it before your eyes could confirm it. You have never walked alone, not even during your darkest nights. Every time you cried in silence, believing nobody understood your pain, heaven remained near. Every moment you questioned your worth, you were still being watched over. Every betrayal you endured was seen clearly. Every disappointment was recorded. Yet, despite everything, you continued moving forward. That perseverance carries power. Reward follows endurance more often than talent. Grace is moving toward your life now, not because you earned perfection, but because divine mercy decided your season was changing. Soon, unfamiliar names will enter your journey, carrying keys connected to your future. There are people heaven has specifically prepared to assist your next chapter. One conversation can alter everything. One connection can unlock years of waiting. Remain spiritually alert. Not every person assigned to your path is meant to stay forever, but some are carrying pieces connected to your purpose. You will recognize the right connections because peace will accompany them. Fear creates confusion, but divine alignment carries clarity. Stop allowing old wounds to poison future possibilities. Do not let disappointment harden your spirit. Keep your heart open enough for restoration to find you. The future cannot fully arrive while you continue building walls around yourself from previous pain. The fact that you remained here listening until this moment reveals something important about your spirit. Messages like this are not meant to control people. They are meant to awaken people. Clarity increases when you pay attention at the correct moment. Confusion grows louder when you repeatedly ignore inner conviction. Slow down after hearing this. Give your spirit room to breathe. Your life is not falling apart the way you feared. In many ways, it is finally coming together. You are still being guided even during uncertainty. Protection continues surrounding you even when circumstances appear unstable. There is wisdom available to you right now if you remain sensitive enough to hear it. Sometimes heaven speaks most clearly through quiet conviction rather than dramatic signs. The answers you seek are not always hidden far away. Many of them are already growing inside you. And understand this deeply. Your story is bigger than your own survival. What heaven is doing in your life is not only meant for you. Your breakthrough will eventually become proof for somebody else who almost gave up. Your testimony will strengthen another person standing in darkness. Your healing will inspire another wounded heart to keep going. Purpose always extends beyond the individual carrying it. Before this message ends, receive this final reminder within your spirit. You were never created to disappear into fear, shame, or limitation. You were created to rise into purpose. The fire inside you is not anxiety. It is awakening. The pressure you have been feeling is not punishment. It is preparation. The shifting around your life is not destruction. It is repositioning. A protected path is opening ahead of you now. Abundance is no longer something distant you only dream about. It is beginning to move toward your reality. Spiritual insight, favor, guidance, opportunity, provision, and alignment are all becoming active around your journey. The moment you stop doubting your calling, your movement forward becomes stronger. Trust what your spirit has been sensing lately. The changes are real. The redirection is real. The doors are real. Take this message seriously, because your next season is already approaching faster than you think. Remain open, remain ready. Continue moving with faith even before visible proof appears. One day soon, you will look back at this exact moment and realize heaven was speaking to you long before everything changed.